Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasy, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season, we're stepping into 3 standalone worlds. Right now, we're diving into a dark academia mystery filled with obsession, ambition, and just a little bit of murder. That's right, grab your scripts and memorize your alibis. We're headed to Delacre Classic Conservatory.
7 actors, 1 stage, and absolutely no sense of boundaries between fiction and reality. Just like this podcast. Welcome to a world of rivalries, rehearsals, and the kind of ambition that doesn't just crave the spotlight, it kills for it.
In this episode, we'll be discussing If We Were Villains, Act 5, where James finally loses it and Oliver discovers the secret he's been hiding. In his bed? Just kidding. Unless...
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes all 3 standalone novels we'll be covering this season and any fan discussions we find online. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance. Like the books, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want some bonus content and behind-the-scenes chaos, join our growing community on Patreon.
All right, well, guys, it is finally the end of If We Were Villains. What a ride it fucking was. We begin Act 5 with Colborne totally interrogating Oliver on his relationship with James. And, you know, at the beginning of this act, he says to Colborne, well, I was just really infatuated with him. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the book, I don't know about that one.
Infatuated.
Yeah.
Not enamored.
Yeah, he was just enamored, infatuated with him. Just everything about him. It wasn't that it was love or anything. It was complicated.
Isn't it always?
Yes, because you go to fucking jail for enamored. Okay.
Yeah. No, literally.
Yeah.
Right? So we finally get to hear the end of our story. It starts with the performance of King Lear. They're finally setting it up in the first scene. A lot of this scene is a description of how it looks, which, did you guys happen to look up how the set looks for other performances?
No.
No, I think I had it in my mind how the set was going to look, and I thought it was such a gorgeous parallel to the story that it's this beautiful set, but yet we know it's about to break.
Yeah, so I've never seen King Lear live or anything, but the way it's described in the book is it looks... There's like a mirrored plexiglass below them, and then above is this like millions of little cables that are supposed to look like stars. And so it's kind of like this beautiful landscape that kind of blends into one another, like the top and the bottom kind of blend. I looked it up, absolutely stunning, some of the sets, but really simple at the same time. But
it gives me envy because while I was listening to this, I was like, that's the kind of things I wanted to do at the library if only we had the money for that shit.
Yeah, working with public libraries is so tough because you literally just have to work with like kids' arts and crafts stuff.
But I mean, like, even for the window display, I was like, I want to do all these things and make this beautiful. Yeah. And
it sounds so pretty in the book.
It does. I was very envious because if I had another job, I would want to do something like that.
It sounds amazing.
Set designs or something. I don't know.
But we do get a little bit about, a lot of stuff has happened in the last act. Alexander is recovering. He has to be monitored for like withdrawals and shit, mostly by Philippa and Colin. But Oliver is still sleeping with Meredith on occasion, but I don't think they're actually having sex, just like comforting one another. It's been said that James has been leaving in the middle of the night to walk around, and everyone kind of knows that.
But where the fuck is he going?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's never explained.
I think he's going down to the boathouse, which is kind of implied later when he has his full-on tantrum and he's like looking out the window at the boathouse. I think he's looking at the boathouse.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's also stated that Oliver is still haunted by Richard at night, that he and Meredith and James and Wren, they're all still having nightmares. He's like hallucinating Richard. I really have to wonder why Oliver feels this deep guilt about Richard, but yeah, I don't know.
Because he's fucking his girl.
Well, so one of the things that Lily, you asked about at the very beginning of this, because I was actually listening to it on the way home, was that if you were wondering if somebody had read Hamlet prior to reading the book, if from the very beginning they could pick out what exactly happened based on Hamlet.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with Hamlet, but I'm curious if you felt it maybe mirrored at some, because I know we talked about Hamlet and the ghost at the very beginning.
I think Hamlet is one of the only Shakespearean plays that I've read besides A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I always mix that up. Is it a Midsummer Night's Dream? Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet?
But yeah, I've read Romeo and Juliet. Does that count? Everyone's read that. But I do recall that there's a recurring theme of like the ghost, right? I'm sure that as is with everything in this book, it's supposed to be inspired by Shakespeare, so it's probably not a 1-to-1, but it's probably something like a vague like
reference.
Don't all his plays go by this? Yeah. I also thought it was...
I mean, the ending is definitely Shakespearean.
It is.
Also, I did love A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It's a very good one.
That's my favorite, and I definitely want to see that again live, by the way. I also think it's kind of funny that Oliver notices Philippa and Camilo like talking to each other on the side, but like totally misses the context. Anyway, so they have their first performance of King Lear. It goes pretty smoothly, according to Oliver. Posters have been put up around campus, and the first performance was met with a big round of applause. It's going well. It's after this that they're like, well, we're going to have a cast party.
Which I was like, are you fucking kidding me? After what happened last time?
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but then I fucking loved the fact that they just bought half the booze in order to respect the band. I was like, that is such a theater response.
Also, if Alexander is detoxing, he should not be drinking.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I was like, should he really be around booze at all right now? Like, this is a terrible idea. I mean, they should have just canceled the cast party, realistically.
Yeah, especially, like, they're not sleeping. They're hallucinating. They are falling to pieces. And they want to... They've become... What's the word? Things that people stare at. Well, they are paranoid, but they've become like something that the whole school stares at, and they're like a car accident that people stop and kind of slow down to just rubberneck at, and
that drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna invite people into their home. Are you kidding me?
They really should have canceled it, but I think they wanted so badly for everything to be normal, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I just don't think this was the best idea. And clearly it wasn't, because just like last time, like, a fucking mess happens.
Yeah. And James loses it.
James absolutely loses his mind during this scene. Meredith escapes in the middle of the scene, like, she says she's going to tell Oliver something, and then she kind of backs out of it. And I wonder if she was scared to tell Oliver because she thought that Oliver would choose James.
I don't know.
Probably. I mean, that's what she makes it sound like later on.
Yeah.
I did have a question. Like, if this was the place the party that she dipped out on to go see Colburn, didn't he say that she was wearing something shiny? And in this, she's wearing a black dress. So I was like,
Yeah. I saw your comment on that. It's either a mistake on the author's part, or it's a shiny black dress. I don't know, because I do think this is the party that she dips out on. I think it's supposed to be implied that she goes to see Colborne during this because she's completely gone, and then Oliver can't find her.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have another incident where she could have dipped out during a party. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Especially that would match.
But I really want to know. Yeah. I really want to know who brilliant idea it was to put candles in the library.
Yeah. I was like, flames around the book?
I thought that was James, though. I took that as he had put those in there. He had lit them. Like he was losing his shit.
He lit them,
no,
but they were there. That's what...
Yeah, Oliver makes a note to say, like, the candles had always been there, but no one had lit them.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
I just figured that James chucked them in.
Whose dipshit idea is it to put candles in a library?
Yeah.
Brittany, it is ambiance.
Ambiance.
It is theater.
Ambiance. All they're missing is a fake skull.
It is a fire hazard.
It is. My first thought.
That is what theater is. It's a fire hazard.
True. So true. Yeah, no, that was my first thought because I was like, open flame and there's alcohol in there. Get that shit out of there.
You dance on that line and it is beautiful.
The librarian came out of us, you know?
Seriously, somebody protect the books, please.
I feel like it's like Lance Orion all over again. Like, get off the books. Get off. Dear Lord, like, stop it. Oh, man. But, so Oliver goes upstairs. He says he's going to go get a drink from Meredith. But when he gets, like, distracted because he's like, James might be here. Wait, no.
James.
He gets distracted because he goes to get the drink upstairs, and then he thinks, like, maybe James is upstairs. And then we see James absolutely drunk out of his fucking mind upstairs, and, like, shitty drunk.
Yeah.
But still able to quote Shakespeare. Just saying.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Apparently, he can still speak Shakespeare.
That is a second language for these people. Like, he was only speaking in Shakespearean quote.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk to him unless you're going to be Edmund or Edgar, because that's who he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hope that one day I learn a language well enough that if I ever got drunk, I could speak it while being intoxicated.
Right? So South Korean then? Or I'm South Korean. So Korean.
Or Spanish. I mean, I did take several years of that.
If Brittany learns Korean before I do, I'm going to be really pissed.
Well,
let me just say, I'm married to a Korean. I have to learn at some point.
To be fair, I think all I can say right now is 한국어 아주 조금 할 수 있어요, and I'm not even sure I said any of that correctly. So
all I heard was 한국, which I think is like
한국어.
한국어? I don't even know what that means.
It means I speak very little Korean. I can speak very little Korean.
Okay, I thought you were saying I read Korean or something, because Anyway, we don't speak Shakespearean.
No.
We don't speak Shakespearean prose, and we don't speak Korean.
And I can say, como se dice something in español a lot. I can say,
Muy bien.
De nada. 감사합니다.
Yeah, there you go. Like, she's learning. All right.
Now, if only I can have it come out of me while drunk.
Right? Yeah, that's the test.
Yeah, James is on another level here. Oliver realizes during James's crazy tirade that James did not drink this much the night of the first cast party. And yet, he was so drunk that he was throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver is, like, putting the puzzle pieces together, but, like, kind of in denial about it. Because he's very willing to question Philippa and Meredith and everyone else at some point. But he even questions Alexander, because he's like, Alexander wasn't here the whole time. But James,
who he's not
never
enamored with at all.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And literally finds the weapon and is still like, I don't know.
Oh, man. But so after James, it's almost implied, James gets up on the table and he's like ranting. He's looking out at the boathouse through the open window. And then Oliver's trying to talk to him, but it's not going very well. After James has his crash out, he runs off and Oliver starts following him. And he ends up in the bathroom, leaned over the sink. Again, we're back at the bathroom.
Where
James has
punched
the mirror. Which was hot whenever it was in Mate, but not hot in this book.
This is anger issues.
Yeah.
This is anger issues.
What's his name in Mate?
Cohen.
I can't think of the
Cohen,
thank you.
Yeah.
It was hot when Cohen did it.
Yeah.
Cohen did it to protect Serena.
This is not hot.
Yeah.
James did it because he's fucking falling apart and he's angry and that's a red flag. I'm just saying.
He's crashing out. Mm-hmm. He's drunk as hell. He doesn't want to look at himself in the mirror. We also see that Meredith's mascara has been dropped on the floor and there's like a line of it on like the counter or something where James is standing. So we have to ask ourselves, where is Meredith? But we find out later that she's dipped out of the party to go talk to Colborne.
Yeah. No. I didn't understand the whole mention of the mascara. I didn't feel scared for her at all or wonder where she was because I figured she was at Colburn. But I was just like, why are we mentioning her mascara if it's not?
Were we supposed to be scared for her?
I wasn't scared for her or worried for her either.
I thought it was more of a reminder to Oliver of, hey,
same
Meredith.
Same. That was my thought.
I was just like, why is this important? Why is it being mentioned? Is this supposed to imply that he did something to her? But I don't really know.
I think
I was confused by the mascara.
My opinion is that the little leftover piece of Meredith there is kind of a reflection of Oliver's heart battling, right? He wants to follow James and he's cares more about James, but in the back of his mind, Meredith is always there. And it's like a fight between what he feels like he should be doing versus what he doesn't realize he wants in James. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just supposed to be a reminder that Meredith was who he was supposed to be talking with, going to get a drink for. He's supposed to be sort of dating, whatever their relationship is. And yet here he is in front of James, way more emotional, really caught up in all of that. So that was my thought.
He's supposed to want her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Meredith is a foil to Oliver and James's relationship.
Yeah.
If you can say that.
I think Oliver is a foil.
I think James is an asshole, honestly. Because doesn't he leave the bathroom and go ask to fuck Ren?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I was like...
On the bed that contains the brain matter?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Ew!
It could be Ren's.
They could go sleep in Ren's bed.
I'm just saying, just think about that.
Yeah.
When they're having sex, does that not make noise?
They could be having sex in
Ren's
bed.
I hope they slept in Ren's bed.
I mean, depending on how, gregarious they get with the sex, I mean, that shit could be bouncing and whacking.
I will say that at some point, Oliver says he can't go up to the tower because Ren and James are up there.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's what, because it sounds like James did it to be an asshole to Oliver.
He did, yeah.
Which is, he's an asshole to Ren, too, because he's totally using her, and he may have liked her, and he may have wanted to sleep with her, but him doing it for this reason is so fucked up, and I was so mad at him. I was like, later on, when Oliver confesses to save James, I was like, you motherfucker. He deserves it. I mean, even though he didn't do anything wrong, he deserves it just because he's an asshole.
Yeah, when he grabs Ren's arm, there's a line where Oliver says that James looks at him over Ren's head, over her shoulder, and there was something strange and bitter and vindictive in his expression. Mm-hmm. And, I think it's Honestly, if I were to like try and analyze this, I feel like it's his reaction to Oliver and Meredith's relationship is like, again, like we said, like 2 episodes ago or something, where James was like, where were you last night? Why are you sleeping with her? You know what I mean? It's like that times 10, you know, like jealousy and stuff.
But the frustrating thing, though, is that, yes, he's doing that in that moment, but he and Ren have technically been together longer than that. So why is it Oliver is not supposed to see anybody, but James can?
Oh, yeah.
Plus,
wouldn't
normally something like that would drive 2 people apart, especially if they're not that together anyways. And the fact that he was there and he killed Richard because of Ren, because she told him to go after him, wouldn't you think that would drive them apart to where...
If Ren knows.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody here is lying to themselves about how they feel, so...
Ren has to know. She told him to go after him, and she knew that night he went after him. Now, she didn't see the boathouse, but if you knew that the last person that you knew that went after Richard was James, you would have to guess that he's responsible.
Unless you really wanted to believe it was an accident.
I mean, yeah, you could lie to yourself, but maybe that's why she's breaking down, as she knows.
I mean, she doesn't know that James actually went.
He left right then. I mean, she doesn't know technically that he found him, but since that never came out to anybody else, you would have to think that's very suspicious. You would have to choose not to believe or not to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think of your friend as capable of like
a murder,
killing somebody. Yeah.
I think she's losing it because of the fact that they're all losing it because of the fact that they literally let this man die.
And listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're all culpable. Like,
not really.
Okay.
Legally.
They're all complicit.
Legally? Not really.
They're all complicit in his death, though.
Maybe morally.
Morally. Solely.
Morally, which is the point, because it's eating them alive. They don't give a fuck about the laws.
I do. Like, I'd just be like, if that's the thing, if I ever get in trouble, you just gotta use the law to help yourself.
I'm gonna lie. Brittany would be on the fucking dock telling Richard, legally, I don't have to help you. You're kind of an asshole, so
yeah.
Help yourself and die faster.
Well, technically, James did have an obligation, a legal obligation to help him because he did put him in that situation. Although, did he? Or was it Richard who put himself in that situation? I can't remember. Did James push him in the water?
Oh,
no.
Didn't he stumble in or something?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if legally he would be responsible for that.
You know, you can argue that in a court, and then we'll see how that goes.
I don't know if I put it that way, Brittany.
We'll see. So Oliver is obviously upset about how everything is going down. The next day, he cleans the whole castle because he doesn't want to think about James, and he doesn't want to think about the situation at the cast party, everything.
Real quick, though.
Sure.
He wouldn't go sleep in his own bed because of James and Ren. He wouldn't sleep in Meredith's bed because she was missing. So he sleeps with Philippa. Like, he has a massive codependency problem right now.
They all do. Yeah. I would argue that all of them are like that.
I don't know. Philippa seems pretty stable. She was...
You know what? That's fair.
She was like...
That's fair. She's like the most stable, observational one of all of them. So, yeah. But while cleaning, he discovers some
feathers.
Rusty boat hook in James's bed. In the bed, the mattress.
All because of some feathers.
Yeah.
Which
I think it's crazy that he saw the feathers and then was immediately like, rips back the covers.
Yeah.
Like
and sticks his hand in the mattress. That's gross.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in there.
Yeah. My thought now, knowing that this was the night after James and Ren slept together in that bed with the murder weapon in the bed, if I saw that, like, I would have been like, damn, my friend fucked the feathers out of this mattress. Just clean them up.
Oh my God.
just clean them up and move on.
I don't think Oliver is thinking that.
It's not actually suspicious at all.
Oh my God. I mean, it is crazy that it is crazy that he fucking pulls back the covers immediately, like, what's in here? Like, come on. What? I don't think I would have done that. Maybe
I would have like,
I don't know.
Shit, a pillow ripped, or is there some feathers in this comforter? Does it need to be
exactly
fixed? But no, I would just tell my buddy, like, hey, you got shit coming out of your bed. I ain't touching it.
Hey, buddy, there's shit coming out of your bed. Yeah, he sees the blood, I guess, and so he's like...
After he rips off the covers?
Yeah.
Technically, though, maybe he had to change the sheets, though, to make the bed.
Didn't he say something like that?
Because he's cleaning.
Do he have to make the bed? Like, I would think that was...
He could have left it alone, really.
He was awfully detailed on the cleaning, which is odd, because he was supposed to be getting ready for the play.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck would you go that deep dive into the cleaning? That didn't make sense to me.
Because he didn't want to think about anything else. I mean, he says at the beginning of the scene that he's like, in order to distract myself from everything, I decided to, like, immerse myself in the cleaning.
Yes, but that part didn't make sense, because I don't know any actor that would immerse yourself in something like that right before you're going to perform. Like, that would distract you from...
I don't know. If it were me, King Lear would be the last thing on my mind with everything they got going on, you know?
I just want to point out that this is evidence number 526 of why they can't get away with murder. They're making stupid decisions. Like, why would you put that in your mattress?
I agree with that.
Why? Why not chuck it into the lake?
Right.
I do think it was the worst place he could have ever put it.
I think he said he when he ran, he didn't realize he had it with him.
But you can always go back.
He did say that.
And chuck it into the lake.
True. There's a lot of reasons that this was a bad idea.
You don't hold on to evidence, because then it becomes evidence.
It's just so crazy, too, because, like, that bed is the property of the schools. So, like, if he just left it there, eventually someone else would be sleeping in that bed.
Yeah. And then they find it and go, where did this come from? Wait, what is that blood? Oh, there was a death on campus last year. Whose bed was this?
Yep.
Yeah, but you couldn't prove that was a person. It could be somebody setting him up. I mean, there's, holes in that theory, or that.
But James is pretty suspicious.
Yes. But by then he probably would have his wits about him and be able to present a better front. Although it does sound like, though, he was really wanting to take the fall for it, that he was not happy.
Yeah.
Oliver, although
I agree.
I argue with that all he had to do was come forward and say something.
For real. Like, none of them should have actually gone to jail for this. And that's why I feel like it's so Shakespearean. Like, it is very good Shakespearean, because the end result didn't need to happen at all.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's...
And of course, the book ends with them performing King Lear, which I can't imagine performing King Lear after you've discovered that your best friend killed someone, and then you have to do a performance with them, and then you're like having these inside conversations with them on the stage. The whole thing is a mess.
Yeah. I was surprised that, so he runs to the theater with the murder weapon in hand, and nobody sees him.
In hand, yeah.
And he puts it...
This giant hook.
Yeah.
He puts it with the cloth that he found in the fireplace, and I was so, like, expecting that cloth to be missing. Yeah. And it wasn't, and I was just like, okay.
I think it's a funny thing to like, think of him throwing it in the locker, kicking it closed, and then shoving the table back. Like, It just sounds kind of comical.
And he's
Oh man.
and he's so late to the play that they actually got somebody else to like. How do you do
An
that?
understudy.
How do you do that? Because he was sitting there like
Yeah.
trying to learn his lines right there.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Which, that was nuts. You should have an understudy that already knows your lines.
I agree.
So that was like, what?
Yeah, they should have had. I mean, Edgar is such an important character. They definitely should have had someone who already knew his lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, was anybody else? I don't know why I pictured James being bigger than Oliver. I thought James was a big guy, but he is not. Oliver is bigger than him.
I never imagined him being big, but I never imagined him being that much smaller than Oliver. I kind of just, in my mind, they were very much equals for most of the book.
Oh, really? For some reason, I thought James was like tall, not necessarily like built, but I thought he was on the taller side.
Mhm.
And I pictured Oliver as like average.
Oliver is described as...
Is he sticking his crotch in Oliver's face?
A little bit. In my mind, he was. In my mind, it was very much like, you know.
I think Oliver is described as like lanky, tall, kind of. James is... I don't remember how they describe him besides like perfect, princely.
I pictured them as like being eye to eye. I don't know why.
Same. Yeah, I pictured them similar heights. I do think that it's emphasized how small James is in this last act, not just because now there's this weird relationship that they're both acknowledging, but also because James's character, like his feelings make him shrink. Like he's feeling smaller, and therefore the emphasis on him being smaller, kind of like Ren is emphasized to be like, you know, like pathetic, small,
Bird-like.
sad, bird-like.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's more emphasized for James in this last act, I feel like, because of that.
Yeah.
So they're on stage together, and they've already done this performance once, but James delivers his monologue, and it's like creepier than it was before because now Oliver understands who James is and what he's done, and he's thinking about him in a different light. And so James, as the role of Edmund, is kind of like recast entirely.
There's also that
Because-
drunken escapade.
Yep. Because that's what he said the night before when he was drunk. He recounted this whole scene, except it was a lot creepier. Now, I do think there's some interesting lines from the play that kind of mirror both what they're talking about and what's going on between the characters. For example, James says, "A brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy." This kind of, to me, is like a reflection of how Oliver never would have suspected James because he himself is too like good and pure. At least that's what everyone thinks of him.
Yeah.
Nobody is, well, I take that back. There's a few people I would consider like good and pure, but you know.
Who?
Felix.
Oh, never mind. Shit, I should have known. I can't believe that.
I saw the look on her face and I was like, she's thinking of Felix.
It wasn't us.
No. Which I'll tell you right now, Felix is not pure.
No, he's
Okay.
not. No, he's not.
That man is creating audio porn for free on Instagram, so I don't know about that one. But anyways.
But when I hear those
What did
words. But yeah, no, James not. Not so much.
No. What about Oliver, though? He's talking about Oliver.
Oliver.
No.
The word I would use for him is naive.
Yes. Vastly different.
Yeah, I agree. What did you guys think about the play scene?
Mostly what stood out for me was the conversation they had on the side. The play itself
Yeah.
is not ringing. Like it's been a minute since I read the scene, and
It doesn't have to be about the play
the
itself.
details aren't coming back to me. Although I do think I questioned, I was like, did he hurt Ren?
James?
Yeah.
Did he?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, okay. I wrote he killed James for hurting Ren. I think I meant to write he killed Richard for hurting Ren.
okay.
That's
Oh, I
my
see.
bad. I was like, what the
Because
fuck?
I was like, I didn't.
It was
think-
interesting that the "if we were villains" line does come from King Lear, especially since there's so much emphasis on Hamlet at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like it was so. This is going to be a really weird way to describe it, but it felt so chaotic in a way, but such a buildup to what, like when he kind of finds out everything, it was almost like an orchestra,
Ooh.
like an actual musical. As I was listening to it, I could like hear the music building,
Yeah.
like an orchestra. I don't know.
I love that.
It was more of a sound to me, but that I just felt like that the play. I feel like it was that needed component to have that versus if it was just something where he found out and he explained.
Mm-hmm. I agree. For me, it feels like this. How would I describe? It feels like this like quick build up. It's like he discovers the hook and then he runs to the theater and then he has to get on the stage as quick as possible. Then he's confronting him immediately and he's like waiting, like can barely contain himself to confront him during the intermission. And it all leads up to that moment where he's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And we get this weird talk with Meredith where she again doesn't want to talk to him. And he's like saying these things to Meredith about how he cares for her. But then he randomly is like, but don't kiss James again.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, were you jealous of me or were you jealous of him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like in that moment, I realized this back and forth craziness with Oliver and Meredith is, I think he cares about her, but I still stand by that it's just not the fucking same.
No.
And Meredith knows that too. Meredith knows. And that's why when he confronts James...
She's plan B.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know if she's plan B because I don't think she's part of him at all in that way. I think she is a comfortable way to live a life he thinks he's supposed to want.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think he is attracted to her in a way, but it is so confusing to me, honestly. I just really don't understand that back and forth. And maybe Oliver doesn't either, and maybe that's why it's super confusing for the reader. But that's why when he confronts James, he hears him out. He fucking hears him out.
Yeah. Think about it too, in a way that had he been honest with himself, had James been honest with himself, and James and Oliver just ended up together, none of this would have happened.
Possibly, yeah.
The thing is that had James been honest from the beginning, none of this would happen. So when they're talking about what happened and Richard comes at him saying that, why can't you two just admit you're gay for each other and leave my girls alone? Which... yeah, I agree with you, Christy. That was
disgusting.
Yeah, very, very disturbing. As one is your cousin and the other is not yours because we are not property.
Yeah, gross.
But it's just it felt like, especially for Richard and the way that was done, it felt very hate crime-ish. And
yeah, it totally is.
Richard, James hits him, yes, and then runs away. Literally allowed to do that. And I know I'm talking law-wise again. The whole thing is self-defense. So he could have just told the truth from the very beginning and nobody would have went to jail. Nothing would have, he would have to live with the fact that, Richard died, but none of this would have happened.
I think that's simplifying it in a way that is unrealistic, because it's very realistic to say that he panicked and then ran back to the castle. And then maybe after he panicked and threw up and freaked out and talked to Oliver in the shower, and after all of that, then he realized, maybe I should say something to the police. But then they had all kind of committed to not doing that at the dock the next morning. And then it was all kind of like...
It's their turn.
It happened very fast.
It's their fault, too, that they should have, at that point, they didn't even know that the dude had been murdered. Except for Philippa, because she knew. Although, and again, I don't know if you can call it murder, even. It would be involuntary manslaughter, maybe? I don't know. But They all made a stupid decision together. And this is very Shakespearean. Like I said earlier, that we had an outcome in which did not need to happen. There was an easy way out.
But what I was saying before, though, if Oliver and James had been truthful with each other, they would have ended up together. James would not have been with Wren. He would not have felt protective of her in that way that night and would not have gone after Richard or been put in that position, because chances are James and Oliver would have been in the bedroom having some fun. So someone else may have killed Richard, but it wouldn't have been James.
Except for they're not even truthful with each other at the end.
I know. I'm saying if they were truthful, if they had been honest with each other about their feelings and they had ended up together, then everybody would have probably walked out of there, although Richard may have gotten killed from some other reason, but it wouldn't have been on James.
I believe that it doesn't matter what the fuck happened between James and Oliver, because I think ultimately Richard would have done something to provoke somebody enough that something would have happened. I don't know if he would have died.
Richard
but
did seem like
he was,
yeah.
If
hate crime Richard would have been like, ugh, I can't have two gay guys in my little theater group.
Yeah,
I feel like he would have done that.
Happened. Mm-hmm.
But do you think it was more, if Oliver and James had been together, do you think Richard would still have felt that way? Or do you think it was because they were gay and yet still had the attention of the woman he wanted?
I think Richard was a bully, and I think he would have found a way to bully them regardless of what was happening. So right now, his target is on controlling Meredith and Wren because he thinks he has a reason to do that. But even if James and Oliver ended up together, were, honest with each other, Richard would have found a fucking way to bully both of them at some point if things didn't go the way he wanted. Like, he just is just a bully.
Yeah. I mean, he says that to them, but he hated James because James took his role. And
yep.
I have no doubt that if James and Oliver had been together at that time, there would have been some bullying and harassment.
For sure. Like he says, like, do it, pretty boy, do it. You won't hit me. That's not taunting him because of Meredith and Wren. That's him being just hateful. You know what I mean? Just anything he can fucking do to get under fucking James's nerves. And honestly, I felt for James. I mean, I know that he's done some shit in this book that is fucking ridiculous. But when he was up against Richard, he was like, all I could think of was Halloween and what happened Halloween and how nobody was here to help me if he pushed me under the water again.
Yeah.
And that what was going to keep me from drowning this time? And so he fucking hits Richard over the head with that boat hook, and I don't blame him.
Which is precisely why I think, had it gone to a jury, if they had arrested him, he would have gotten off scot-free.
It was definitely self-defense.
We get it.
I know.
Okay.
It just aggravates me when...
It is self-defense, but I feel like the fact that you don't like Shakespeare and yet you drew a line between the ending of Shakespeare, like Shakespearean plays, that oftentimes the ending doesn't have to happen. And, that's...
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like Shakespeare. Okay?
Well, I think it
bothers me.
It's a good point.
It is.
Well, I think it's a good point because Shakespeare is often about, like, the problems that come from human emotions, right? Like the fucking drama because people are not logical and they do crazy shit like kill their best friends, Like,
yeah, I'm not saying that the story shouldn't have gone there. I'm just, if I were their friend, I would have bitch slapped them all for being dumb. I'm just saying.
Which, for Philippa, I felt like that if she was truly as calm and collected as she is shown to be, then she should have been the first one to say, hey, let's call the police. Let's tell them the truth. Let's figure this shit out. But this is ridiculous.
Especially with her. Well, I can see with her background, with her family being in jail, that maybe she not trust the system.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. I was going to say that Philippa's dad being in prison probably makes her less likely to be like, we should go to the cops and tell them the truth, because who knows how he ended up there.
Yeah.
You know, like, we don't know.
It depends on
that story,
whether or not he was mistreated and if he actually did it, and, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Philippa is the star of this show. Like, she's the only one
with common sense.
Yeah.
Although
she's the only one that I feel like truly understands all of them.
Yeah. I mean, and I say she has common sense, although I still think they should have told the truth, but that's just a me thing, I guess. I don't know. I do it whenever I'm reading fantasy books and the characters make stupid decisions. I'm yelling at them. Usually they get better about it. And we only have one book in here.
What was frustrating too is the fact that, like, Oliver didn't have to hand over the evidence.
He didn't.
I mean, fine, you could do the thing, but he literally was like, hello, let's go downstairs and let's get the hook.
He didn't have to confess. The only thing that Meredith could have said is he got drunk and said some weird things to me. And I think maybe he did it, but I have no proof. And that is not enough to take somebody to court or even get an arrest warrant. And it might get a warrant to search his room, which would have then led to, mattress examination, but...
Which would still have gotten him arrested, but...
Yeah.
I mean, blood would still be there.
But then how would he do...
Depends on if it's his blood or Richard's blood.
Richard's blood.
I think it's Richard's.
Maybe part of an eyeball, some brain.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then how would Oliver do his, like, sweeping romantic gesture if he just logically was, like, telling the truth?
I wonder how romantic that was in, like, jail, like dropping the soap,
The martyrdom.
You guys don't get it.
The martyrdom.
You guys don't get it.
Oh, no, I get it. I think, like, what was it in Mate when Serena threw herself in the path of the bullet to protect Cohen? That's very romantic. But that needed to be done.
Listen, you just don't understand, Oliver. I understand him. I get it. I think it was beautiful. And I think that he made the right choice.
He suffered for 10 years for no reason.
For everyone listening, that is a joke. If it's not clear by my delivery, it was a joke. I don't think Oliver made the right decision.
I definitely understand it. The only part that I was a little disappointed in is I really wanted the murder and the cover-up to be a little more intricate.
Yeah.
I had really hoped that it would be something to the effect of that he covered for him, but then later found out it was really Wren that killed Richard, and that he ended up, I really would have loved that kind of twist, because for him to find out he covered and he went to jail, but it wasn't James who did it, it was Wren, and James allowed him to take the fall. And it was...
Yeah, you really wanted that.
I thought that would be like a really crazy twist.
I would have liked a twist. A twist would have been nice.
A bigger twist, I think, would have been nice at the ending. Because I think one thing that's interesting about this book is it kind of gaslights you into thinking you don't know what's going on. And then you get to the end and you're like, I fucking knew that. What the fuck? You're like, damn, I knew that all along. But something about the way the book unfolds makes you start to question the other characters here and there, just like Oliver does. But I think most of us who read the book know, by the second act at least, that Oliver is covering for James. Like, it feels very obvious, and for that reason, it's almost like, no, that couldn't be what's really happening, because it's too obvious. But I don't know, maybe it's because they're young and, like, naive, that it's like, maybe it kind of has to be the obvious option. I don't know.
But there was the really good twist at the very, very end.
The epilogue.
That does occur. So there is that. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed this book. And this book to me is more along the lines of like the others is for me, that it's the book itself
Yeah.
that I really love. So it's not necessarily the outcome that is the big deal. I just love how the author writes it and pulls you in, and you can just really see this world. I absolutely love it.
I agree. Something about this book pulls me in. I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. I think about it often. Yeah, what did you guys think about the epilogue? The epilogue kind of pisses me off, low-key.
Same. Okay, first of all,
Meredith?
she wouldn't testify for him. And he goes back to her. And then, like, after he finds out that James is dead, he goes back to her. And then he gets this package that leaves the ending open-ended. And I am a very need closure kind of girl. And I don't like unanswered questions. And there's not another book to answer those questions.
I do think he is alive.
Is he alive?
Yes.
Did he fake his death?
It's just whether or not Oliver will find him.
100%.
I agree.
I do too.
I do agree. So him going back to Meredith upsets me a little bit because it's like, have you learned nothing? You know, kind of vibe. But
yeah, no.
Yes. Oh, after all she fucking did.
And she slaps him.
Well,
yeah.
I don't necessarily think Meredith did anything wrong, personally.
Oh, what?
I don't really think Meredith did anything wrong. I think that what happened was she went to report James, which at some point one of them would have done something like that, I think. And then once Oliver got taken in, she didn't know what to do because she probably then was like, well, was it Oliver? No, it had to be James. I know better than that. But because Oliver made that choice, she decided to respect it and then leave him.
No, she could have been a character witness, and she could have helped him get either less time, or as a true friend, she could have got on that fucking stand and been like, no, it's actually James that did this, and introduced such a question about it that they may not have even convicted Oliver. Because, I mean, if you're going to go for it, then fucking go for it.
She could have. I agree with you. But I don't blame her for not doing it. I don't. I really don't. I'm not mad at her for it.
I totally blame her. I blame her because she went to Colborne. If she had not gone to him, then I would have said, okay. But she had the fucking balls to go to Colborne. Fine. Then if that's the case and you were going to turn him in, then take it all the fucking way. Be a character witness for Oliver. And then out the truth there. If you're really that interested in outing the truth, and fucking out it there.
Okay. I could see that. Okay. I see that point. The fact that she went in general it's like, if you're going to do it, then fucking do it.
Yeah.
I could see that point. I think I sympathize for her because her point of view is not really given in the book. Like, she is kind of like in a shitty situation the whole story. But nobody cares about Meredith and nobody really does anything to, like, help her, or, like, she's just kind of this sad, tragic side character. And I don't want to just be like, it's all fucking Meredith's fault, because it's not.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, the last place I want to put my anger is on Meredith, when really all of this is between James, Richard, and Oliver. And they're who I want to, like, focus my upset on. You know what I mean? Because, like, I just don't get it.
I do. But at the same time, Meredith, I feel like, went to Colborne because she was jealous, because she got upset that she felt like that Oliver was preferring James.
Oh, I didn't get that feeling. I don't think that's why she went. That's not what I got at all. Because I think if she...
Because don't you think she would have gone to James, though, to say, I know this, I heard you, either you go yourself or I'm going to go?
Not necessarily. The reason I don't think it's jealousy is because she could have fucking done so many other vindictive things against Oliver for months. But she doesn't, and she knows how he feels about James. Like, and then even later, when he comes back to see her in the epilogue, her response is like, she knew the whole time how he felt about James, and yet she kind of, like, accepted it. It was like this weird acceptance that she knew that and was just like, all right.
Yeah, but even at the end, when she nails him with that question about who are you truly jealous of? Are you jealous of me? Or are you jealous of him? Was at the right after she had gone to see Colburn. So I felt like she was doing it in a way that was really shitty because she should have gone to him. The thing is, he was protecting Ren.
I think that's because Oliver's not being honest with himself, not because she's jealous. I didn't get that feeling at all.
Like I'm not saying she did it against Oliver, but I think she doesn't like James for several reasons. But I think that's one is that she is upset that Oliver prefers him. Therefore, she went to Colburn to be a bitch. To otherwise, I feel like either she would have said something to that person or just not said anything at all. But I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think she did it out of jealousy or because she wanted Oliver like that. I don't think that is the case, just personally. I see your point that if you were going to go to Colburn, then fucking follow it through. That I could see your feelings on. But I don't think that she went to Colburn because she was upset about Oliver's feelings for James. I definitely don't think that. I don't think Meredith is a bitch. I just don't.
I wonder, though, why go to Colburn? They all decided to keep quiet. And even if you found out that James did do something, why go to Colburn? Why not go to the others?
Yeah.
I think because he was starting to crash out. Like, James was starting to hurt the people around him. And right before this, at the cast party, if you remember, James starts to mess with Meredith. Like, she's in there doing her mascara, and James comes in and, like, grabs her around the waist. And I think it's just another one of the things that James is, like, slowly devolving into kind of like a Richard character. Like, if they had let him continue to, I don't know, just lose his mind, I think he would have become more like Richard, and they would have been right back where they started. Like, he's hurting people, he's lashing out. Either that or he would have...
But I get what she's saying, though. Why not go to, like, Alexander and Pip to say, this is what I heard. This is what he did.
I don't know, but she doesn't tell anyone. She doesn't even tell Oliver, but I mean, you know what I thought it was? I thought it was because she's still feeling guilty about Richard.
But she would tell on herself then, because she let him die as well.
But no, because she knows now that James is the one that killed him, so...
No, technically they all, I mean, yes, he started it, but they all sat there and watched him die.
Yeah, but I'm saying she feels guilty about the fact that Richard died and how it ended between her and Richard. So therefore she's trying to right it by turning in his murderer. That was my thought, but...
I could see that. I don't know.
I don't really know why she went to Colburn, honestly, but I didn't think it was jealousy. Yeah.
The only feelings I personally had towards Meredith is I wanted to get some self-respect. I mean, I was mad at her because she didn't testify. She should have. And I definitely see Christy's point where, you know, if she is going to go, and I agree with it, if she's going to go to Colburn, then go all the way. But for her to just let herself be treated that way and then to just take him back as if they were back in school, nothing's changed. He didn't just get out of prison. It felt like there was nothing learned for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. I definitely agree with you
there. That
there.
was the frustrating part for me, was like, she didn't change at all. There was nothing learned. He didn't get mad at her for not testifying or hold her accountable. And it's just not something I can see two reasonable people doing.
Well, they're not really reasonable people.
I know, that's why I put the...
Yeah.
Again, in that world, I do actually think this is like a dead-on look.
But it's not I know that it happens. I know that it happens. I'm just saying it's not a healthy relationship.
No.
It's
That's
not
a healthy
something,
world.
None of these relationships are healthy.
At all. I would have hoped by the end of this book that they would have, grown a little bit. And I just
Nope.
don't feel like they did.
I guess here's the thing, though, for that type of world is how can you possibly grow if you're switching personalities and characters so much? You're not in them long enough to grow.
But she's not doing theater anymore, is she?
She's doing film. That's what I mean. While she was, she was going somewhere for film at some point in there.
Isn't she? She's like in a
Oliver
crime.
Definitely isn't.
What?
Oliver definitely is not still doing theater. He could have grown. He could have grown in jail.
Guys, sometimes your book has to have a shitty ending. Sometimes books are written in ways that we don't like the ending.
I did. I liked the ending. I liked the twist that James is still alive.
I also like that.
I thought that was, he was going to have that second chance. So for him, I think he probably feels like that 10 years was worth it. And that James was like, come find me, basically.
Yeah. I do think it's shitty that he goes and stays with Meredith and then they like make a little life together again. And then as soon as he's got a word that maybe James is alive, he's like, and I'm out. Bye.
Bye. See ya. I'm out.
Yeah, no.
Peace.
I don't know. My feelings on Meredith are very complicated, but I don't hate her, I guess, at the end. I don't hate any of them, actually. Except for maybe Richard.
I don't say I would hate Meredith.
And we learned that we finally learn what happened to Rin. She's a recluse in England, which I feel like...
Dramatic.
It is.
Everybody else gets something.
Yeah.
She's recluse in England.
I don't blame her at all.
Or maybe she's just like, people are fucking crazy. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame her either.
Which is understandable. But just to note, I don't hate Meredith.
Yeah.
I just was very angry about what she did and that she didn't try to rectify it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's very fair.
Although I was quite mean to her in the notes, I'm just saying.
I think that she's such a complicated character.
Oh, where do we think that James went?
I think he went...
Somewhere tropical.
The beach that Oliver and James have that memory from where he recites the Pericles passage. Brittany just made a disgusting face at us. Brittany's like, boo, Shakespeare, boo. Funny.
Okay, so important question, Brittany. If Felix quoted Shakespeare to you...
This is a valid question.
How would you feel about it then?
Felix, the innocent.
I can't answer that.
And is it pure?
I didn't say he was innocent. I didn't say he was innocent. He's
implied.
Totally not innocent. There's plenty of videos showing he ain't innocent. I think that man could say anything to me and I'd melt. I'm just saying.
So if Felix came up to you and said pee pee poo poo caca, you'd be like, oh my God, Felix.
So beautiful.
Say it again.
I'd probably bust out in laughter at that. I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know.
Okay, so now that we have finished the novel, can I just ask everyone's favorite part and everyone's least favorite part? I'm curious. Like, it could be a character, it could be a scene, it could be anything. I'll go first while you guys think. My favorite part of the book is the scene where they're doing, is it Macbeth on the beach? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. That's probably my favorite.
My favorite scene for sure. And it's, for some reason, that scene I can see so clearly in my mind, and it's a really interesting scene, so.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah. Everything is falling into place there. Like, it's a good one.
Least favorite scene is probably the scene where he and Oliver talk and it doesn't end in them having sex.
Oh, when they get really close together and then they almost kiss, but they don't? Yeah.
Yeah. I was so frustrated with that scene.
My least favorite scene is when Oliver and Meredith try to go on a date. Like, okay, whatever.
My least favorite, I guess, part is when he goes home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like, to me, my least favorite character is probably Oliver. Not that I don't like him.
Valid.
But he is the least...
So valid.
He draws the least interest from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I really can't choose a favorite because I am not joking. The feel for the whole book for me is so, like, I love it. I love the world that she creates. I love the description of everything. So each scene I kind of think about, I'm like, ooh, but that one. Ooh, but that one. So I don't think I have a favorite scene per se.
Good.
As long as it's at the school.
Mm-hmm.
That's my... Any of the scenes that maybe weren't at the school or it was either the prison, which actually that was okay. But especially when he goes home, I don't like that. It was okay. It was gray. It was very gray.
I'm glad you liked the book. All right. Brittany doesn't have a favorite scene because she actually hated the book. I'm kidding.
No, I'm pretty sure, like, the scene on the beach.
You did say that.
With the blood, and that was very dramatic, and it stood out to me.
You did say that. I'm sorry. It's a good one.
I'm surprised she wasn't like hated the Shakespeare, just the Shakespeare. Like every fucking line.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on. It's just like, boo, Shakespeare.
I will say, during that drunken conversation between Oliver and James, I was like, just shut up already.
Oh, man.
Push him out the window.
All right. Well, I guess we can end it there. Join us next week because we're going to be doing a special 100th episode. So tune in for that. I hope we have that ready because it's going to be something new. And then we'll dive into The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. And we're going to be doing chapters 1 through 12 for the first episode. New episodes drop every week. And don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Bride duology, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.